Alright, we're going to do a video here showing off all the things we need to show you. So we're composing Docker. We have a database, a server, and a front-end container, all within our Postgresql-Client-Server main folder. First thing we're going to do is click for localhost. We can sign up. We can choose a username, full name, an email, and a password. This brings us to the login page. No account yet, so we want to create one. We can deposit X amount of money, $100. We can also withdraw some money, $50. Great. Now, we log out and we log in with the administrative account. We can see in here that there's a change in requests, kind of funnily, because we're seeing an error request for a favicon for each connection type. Not necessarily peak logging, but it's definitely something. We can see this new account that was not in our SQL startup. These are all the inserted users on startup. So we can tell that that user was inserted on, after they logged in and created an account. We can see that there's $50 in the account, and there was 2 transactions that happened. These are all the previously inserted transactions. These are the system analytics. So we can see the time and date that it happened and the account number connected to the user. We can also go to view data. This is for CSV and JSON import. Before we do anything, we can check console, go for unauthorized tests to test all endpoints for CSV and JSON data. We can see that both are not authorized. It's sending data, trying to get in. If you go to the network tab, we can see that it's actually trying to send data here and request it, but it is not working because there's no access token. We can see that it works. JSON data gets parsed. See that it works for CSV. CSV data gets parsed. Isn't that lovely? Go back to dashboard. Everything. You can log out as well. It's all sending data. Now we will go to everything else that we need to go over. We've done CSV. We've done almost injection attack. You can see that we're using Postgres and that the passwords have been hashed. There's actually a hashing function in here. By bcrypt, we require bcrypt, and then we use it here to await and hash passwords 12 times. That's what this 12 stands for, 12 rounds of hashing. I do not believe we're using assault. Could be mistaken on that. Pretty sure I didn't add one in, unless bcrypt already includes that. But it hashes it 12 times, and then it inserts that data into the database. Next thing we can go over is the security test function. This is a PowerShell script that tests whether or not your ports are open, or if you can be exploited through SQL or JavaScript injection. So we've scanned for SSL certificates, remote server access, through port and then port scanning. This doesn't work. That's done correctly. If you want to look at it, here's the script that I've written. It's our composed Docker file. Uses environment variables from here. This is our secret key. Change in production. Here is our server Docker file. Enables Node.js on index.js. And package.json is where it installs all of our dependencies. Our Docker file for our front end. This is where it copies all of the HTML files into the server on startup. So if you were to not put an index, index would not be available. That's what that does. You can skip over docs. That's just for submitting. Here is our database Docker file. Obviously, copying stuff like that. Installing. This is a little custom because our initialization script is a little strange for our SSL. We create the certificates and the keys, and then we create a custom entry point for Postgres by inserting the certificates into their temporary locations and then starting the server on top of it. This is a little special compared to other submissions. So instead of creating a static file and then transporting the Docker setup to another computer and having to create a new static file with certificate keys in it, this does that all for you, so it's all contained. That's all this does. There's that, and there's the endpoint. I think that goes over everything. All of this is contained in the GitHub. Show you that right here. So you can see everything is in here. Alrighty, I think that's everything I needed to go over. Have fun.